Qapla, Warriors of the Empire, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command Orion Pirates Plus Mod. I am Commodore Tirek of the light cruiser IKV Victory, a D5, not a D7, but you know, we're working back on it. We've managed to completely encompass the fortress world up to the north here, and at some point we'll probably get back to whittling around it, but I think we want to do a little bit more commerce raiding out here in the border regions between us and the Lyrans. We really don't have the firepower to go take on a world on our own. We'll poke our nose in there. Maybe every so often, see if a stealth cap mission comes up. But for now, we're just going to sort of stay out here in our little D5 and build up some cash so that we can maybe afford something that's actually capable of doing a planetary assault. Ooh, that's a B-10 right there. That's a battleship, like a proper battleship. Remember, in Orion Pirates, battleships are much bigger than dreadnoughts, which is pretty cool. Not particularly realistic, since dreadnoughts were like better than battleships, and then World War II happened, and it gets complicated after that. But dreadnoughts were supposed to be the biggest, baddest things ever, and then we kind of gave up on naming things like that. Anyway, rushing in towards the enemy, they've got a heavy cruiser, a frigate, and I think that's a light cruiser. Using our Y key, we see the light. Oh, okay. So these are the Beast Raiders, and as you can see, the Beast Raiders get monsters in their fleet, which is cool. Not going to deny the coolness of that. But since that's a plasma monster, I'm not particularly happy about it. We are out of scatter packs. Remember, we are still going on not a super long-term war patrol, but we are on a war patrol, and Klingon ships and endurance not really great. In a lot of ways, you can kind of compare Klingon ships to Soviet-era submarines. They're all right, but in terms of endurance and backup capabilities, not quite on par with their American counterparts during the Cold War. So we can't go out for as long. We can't hang around for as long. When we get hit, we tend to take more damage. It's not great, but we are nimble as all hell. So you make trade-offs, I suppose. And swooping in with the awesome skin on the D5. One thing I do want to note, the actual light cruiser design, like the original typical one, that's in this game too. Unfortunately, the skin for it is absolutely hideous. Like, just compared to the updated ones for the Orion Pirates Plus Mod, it's not even comparable. So if someone could get around to making a really cool skin for it to, like, replace it, that would be awesome. It doesn't show up all that much, so it's not really a huge deal, but it's just one of those things, you know? B-10 going to town, kicking butt. He's a lot closer than I thought he was, but then again, he's gigantic. Firing all our phasers. Not able to do it. Pass around to the rear. Let the phaser 3s do their work. They are very finicky in terms of their arc. We're going to slow down now, so that we can power systems. And we'll let the battleship do all of the work, really. I mean, he's huge and powerful, and quite frankly, we're not. We are about the size of maybe a quarter or a third of him. So he's definitely got sort of it down when it comes to having control and power. And that looks pretty cool. Just watching the remains of the asteroid monster, it looks like he managed to, like, annihilate an asteroid on his way through this squadron. Good luck there, buddy. Something tells me you're not going to live. What kind of B-10 is he again? He is a B-10K. K is a command version, isn't it? I'm not entirely sure. I'm trying to remember how Klingons name things. Because L's are leaders. And then I want to say K's are also command types. But I could be wrong. It's not hugely important. Sort of flying through the missiles there. Luckily, they don't have collisions after they miss. And they can only actually target the... they can only actually target the thing that they were aimed at. They have safeties on board. Thank you very much. Fire everything we got. And our rear phasers might be enough to kill him? Yeah, they were. Okay. And at this point, we're just an escort for this guy. The Viking Glory. Good luck, buddy. Yep. Look at that. That just gives you a sense of scale right there. We are tiny compared to him. He's got 4 warp nacelles to our 2, and his warp nacelles are easily twice as big as ours. Just imagine the kind of reactor power that brings with it. We're going to start arcing our way back to friendly territory. We do, of course, need reloads on equipment. Like I said, we are not really very good at staying out for long periods of time. Eventually we have to come home. A freighter wreck in the sector. Okay. So we can steal stuff. And actually, we're going to stop shields to attack standards. Because we're here to steal. Full power. Transporters. You have nothing, you have something. So we're just going to scan them for spare parts, because I don't think that we're maxed on them. It's been a while since I've been in dock, and I can't quite remember if we are to the max on those things, but I don't think we are. So we are transporter, and there's nothing left. Oh, I see a box. That box has stuff, so we're going to fly around this cloud, because if we fly through it, we will hurt. It's actually pretty dangerous to us. So we'll swoop along the edge, pick up the last piece. This is probably it. So a nice, easy, essentially free 10 prestige in order to pick up a couple of spare parts. And plus however much prestige we make for doing this mission. Alright, and we're out of here. So, basically a garbage man mission. Yeah. Not quite to the heights we were at back when we were commanding our D7s on aggressive war patrols. Yeah. I miss it. 300 prestige, plus the 10 prestige for getting spare parts. So that puts us in 1987. Mission is a diplomatic delivery. We're going to go to Shipyard. What's in the 1987 range? D7CR. This is a command battlecruiser, not as good as the one we were in, so it's not worth looking at. A VR is a carrier with ADDs upgraded for the R refit. It'll carry 8 fighters, and we were talking about swapping out for fighters. Essentially, this looks to be pretty much just a almost a D7. 4 disruptors, 3 phaser ones in the nose. Oh no, so a D7 would have had 2 shoulder phasers and then the 2 collar phasers in addition. So it's a little bit weaker. By little I mean a lot. Because those additional phasers could deal quite a bit of damage. 2281 is an FTW. This will be a drone ship. No, it's a fast cruiser. Fast cruiser armed only with 2 disruptors, but a lot of phasers. So it's almost a Federation way of looking at things, where your heavy weapons are there to back up your incredibly powerful phaser armament. I'm kind of wanting to avoid another D7. They did not go well for us. D7s didn't quite work out in our favor. They do have extremely weak rears, and that can make them vulnerable. But ADW is a heavy escort cruiser, and it so this background image here, this is actually the Dreadnought background image, so it kind of makes me chuckle a little bit just whenever I see this. Now, where was that fast cruiser? I want to see how much he is, because if he's sort of within range of cost, FTW, he's 2281. We will have a much better phaser armament, but a really crap long-range armament. We're going to go on another mission. We're going to do the diplomatic delivery, because you can make a lot of buck out of this. If, you know, you run into something big, but you also have something big. So, we will ready. Full power. It's a heavy cruiser. Not great. Okay. Sensors are telling me it's only a heavy cruiser, so thank you for small mercies. And we're going to start up that. We don't have any scatter packs. It's not the best thing ever. I think I'm going to head right for the planet. And probe away. What am I fighting? It's this style heavy cruiser, the weird Franken style, which is basically 2 light cruiser hulls stacked on top of each other and slightly offset. I don't know if that's a glitch on my part, or if that's what it actually is supposed to look like. I do think it's a glitch, though. She is armed with 3 missile launchers, 8 phaser 1s, 4 phaser 3s, and a fusion cannon. So if we play her at range, we can do pretty good damage. So I think that's kind of what we want to do. We are going to have to keep the speed up. So we're going to increase to maximum speed. Entering dust cloud. What? Really? We don't want to be in a dust cloud. Dust clouds are very, very bad. So we're going to close to our maximum long range and start firing. Actually, yeah, this is not going to work out. Those phasers alone are enough to gut us. So, missiles his way. Here's the plan. We're going to make a run for the planet. We don't often do this. So, curve around for the planet. He took those missiles right on. What? That's pretty cool in terms of how this is working out for us. We're going to dump a mine. It's not quite on a great position to cover for us. So we are going to reinforce... Sorry, I'm blacking out. Yeah, it is the starboard shield. So reinforce the starboard shield. And pop another couple of missiles his way. And another mine. He's really not on the right trajectory for us to do that. But I've only got so much to work with. He has managed to shoot down some of the missiles this time. So he's doing better this time. He's still firing at us from long range. That's all of his phaser firepower, and even at that range, it's kind of scary. So we're now heading right for the planet, almost. We got to get within a range of 6, or rather 5.99, and then we can beam the ambassador off, and then we can sort of turn and try and kill him. So we're going to wait for his next volley of phaser fire. Actually, if you're going to show me that. Do I have a shot? No, I don't. Pop another couple of missiles, because I think he's fired everything he's got us. Alright, get ready, Mr. Ambassador. This is going to be a flyby. So here's the trick. We're going to have to get in close to dump him off, but not so close that we run into the planet. And we are watching the range dials now. Ready, steady, gone. And we pull away. So we've managed to deliver the crew, or the ambassador, as needed. So our mission is, well, really complete here. We can run at any point. We are free to leave. We're going to... Is that all? No, we got 2 more reloads. So this one and then 1 more after that. And that missile really is sort of our best advantage here. So let's see what you do with it. I'm on to bet that you're going to shoot at us. Disruptors. All disruptors fired. All disruptors hit something. He does have sort of a hole that I kind of want to be able to abuse, but can't really get there. His shielding is much better than mine. Okay, so this maneuver is a little bit difficult because there's that. We don't want to hit it, because that would of course be bad. We got 1 more blast for missiles, and then we're done. So coming around, tell me that you don't stop it. Tell me that you've got nothing to deal with it. It hit his front shields and really damaged them. Disruptors. And we hit that while we were at it. All auxiliary power, reinforce everything. We actually don't have auxiliary power because we're using it all. So we're really starting to try and play the edges here as best we can. Gotta keep an eye on how close we get to that planet, because otherwise things could get really ugly. Please tell me that goes right into you. Yes! Okay. All weapons, fire to the aft. It's hitting through. Excellent. We will reduce power to charge phasers. And now he's lost his forward shields. That's his most powerful shield. And this shield is not doing so great. Disruptors are not yet available. They are charging. So anything you got. Yes, we got some hits on through. And we're really trying to play the damages as best we can. Okay, so port side is no longer really an option here. We're going to have to play mostly starboard side now. So, because if we get... Oh, that's going to be a scatter pack. I don't think I can... Yeah, it popped as a scatter pack. Of course, however, we are doing a high speed, so not that big a deal. They are slow drones, so speed of 16 is the maximum he's going to get out of it. So working in our favor. Alright. Power to reinforce starboard shields. That way we can continue sort of circling in on them. And we have one set of disruptors ready to shoot. Phasers, not quite so ready. But he really has dropped in speed quite significantly. So we're going to drop in speed a bit too. Keep curling in, keep curling in. Now. And we got another hole in him. Okay. And that's really the key of what we're trying to accomplish here. We want to put as many holes in him as we can so we can come at him from any angle we want. His B-type racks will have a whole bunch of reloads, so we're probably not going to starve him out, but our point defense should be more than enough to handle this. There we go. If we can stay on his 6, though, we'll be in a really powerful position. So we are now at normal speed. We're going to take it on the starboard shields if we can. Everything we had right into his stern. And not quite enough phaser power. Okay. We're spreading out the damage as best we can. We are at full combat speed. So we can charge and fire at maximum rate here. And if we can stay right here, I need 4 port shields reinforced on the double. Because if we lose that shield, it's going to be painful because we're going to have to start playing the position wider. I don't really want to do that. So we're going to slow down here. Because I want to keep in his blind spots. What blind spots he has. We'll continue to fire. Phaser capacitor up to full charge. And really, we're playing a very typical Klingon game. Stick to the rear and just hurt as much as you can. Whew! Point defense, don't scare me like that. Get in there with the phaser 3s. And you're down to a speed of 2.5. More speed, please. I don't want to get too slow on him. There we go. I didn't expect we could take him. I'm going to be honest. I saw a heavy cruiser and I was like, maybe not. But yeah, that worked out. That worked out pretty well. I'm quite proud of us all. And I don't think we managed to really take any like serious damage that we actually got horribly hurt. So we're up to 2267. We will now go to Shipyard. It's not enough of that, but I have a bit of a sneaky plan. So, our ship right now is worth... I was hoping for an armored transport to be available, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, so our ship is worth 492. If we buy Shipyard, the cheapest thing on the Shipyard at 269, we get about 200 more prestige. So that'll bring us up to about 2400. So, the question is, do we buy an FDW? I'm not a huge fan of fast cruisers. I don't really like them. But he is 30-26 rears. So, our D5 is 30-26s. So this would actually be a step down in firepower. I think. Just going to double check the supply yard. We are a D5KR. So D5KR. This guy has 8 phaser 1s, 2 missile racks, 2 phaser 2s, 2 phaser 3s, 2 AMDs. And we are a D5KR. We lose 2 disruptors. We have the same number of missiles. We have half as many phaser 1s, half as many phaser 3s, but we exchange 2 of those phaser 3s for phaser 2s, which are longer range, even though they're not quite as efficient in power. We have 3 transporters, 3 tractors, and a single shuttle. Although I think we have 2 actually. Compared to 5 transporters, 3 tractors, and a single shuttle. We lose disruptors, but we gain phasers. And the question is 4 additional phasers worth 2 disruptors? The answer I'm coming up with is kinda yeah. The phaser one's a great weapon. Where did it go? Please tell me it didn't get sold. We need FTW. So it's a 2281 C7, so this is a heavy battlecruiser C7 type. This is sort of the ultimate culmination of... And it's got disruptor 4s. Ooh. Do we keep on saving? I think we might want to keep on saving. Because we don't want to buy a really crappy ship and then be like, well, we bought it and then it just didn't really work out. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep in this ship just a little bit longer. I know we all want something bigger, badder, with more firepower, but if we can earn just a little bit more prestige, we can get into something that's really got some guts. So we'll go back to the map and back to striking things. Shipyard Assault. If we're supported, we can do this. If we're not, we're in trouble.